Greetings to you. I'm going to try and actually communicate with the youth of Zimbabwe and where I think some of our mistakes are. So I'm going to use myself as an example. Okay. I'm 27 years old, meaning that I was born after the so-called revolution. As we all know, as Zimbabweans, after independence, the literacy rate in Zimbabwe soared massively because of the new education policies. Um, and we all confess that in that time, that's when we also consumed a lot of television and a lot of other sorts of media like magazines, and we looked at a lot of black people who were in there, and I think most of you would agree that we saw a little bit of ourselves within those magazines. By doing that, we spent a frightening amount of time and a frightening amount of our parents' money getting to consume those European goods and American goods anyway. Uh, as free spirits, I think we confused the consumerism that the Americans have with a social well being, and I think that is one of our mistakes. But more dangerously, we confused freedom with the absence of responsibility. Back to post independence education in Zimbabwe, we were brought up to respect the professions: engineers, pilots, doctors, etc. Today, the abilities of Zimbabweans are witnessed by countries around the world, and we are hardworking people. There's no doubt about that. It's only when you mention farming, we will find endless excuses for that. And this is because we have what is so called the post colonial chip on our shoulder. How can I explain this? Okay. We associate manual labor with the with indignity. Alright, thank you. When I came into the UK, I believed that independence meant waking up every day, running around to make someone else rich, and and this is politely called work, actually. Uh, and for some of you who might not understand where I'm coming from, is I'll give you a good example of one of the richest people in the world. Actually, is Bill Gates. He didn't finish education properly, as some people. He's not a professor. I mean, okay, he was awarded some stuff. Anyway, that's not important. But what I'm trying to communicate to you people is that he's one of the richest people in the world because he's the owner of Microsoft. He doesn't work for Microsoft, and most every rich person, I mean, not rich, wealthy person in the world is the owner of a certain thing. And that's why they become rich, because workers, especially in today's world, their rights are eroded every day. And if we as Zimbabweans continue to believe that a job for life exists and a job will liberate us, I think we are getting into a trap that by the time you realize that you are in a trap, and if you are actually not strong enough to get out of that trap, will be the sorriest prisoners. This is slavery. You might say that he's lazy, but no. Ask any Zimbabwean working for someone else how it feels to work every day for peanuts. Yes, it might be a lot of money when you go back to Zimbabwe, but even if you build a house in Zimbabwe today, or if you had built a house in Zimbabwe and you are living outside Zimbabwe, how does it feel that you have built a house that you cannot live in? We have to actually understand that as long as we are not owners of a country, we will never be able to be free. We will always be directly or indirectly controlled by those who control the economy. So as long as we continue to cry out for jobs, we are crying for prisons. I hope I have communicated myself in a way that is not hateful to anyone and which is helpful to every Zimbabwean or every African particularly.